Picking it out.
There was a movie called I, Tonya. It came out about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And I was asked if I saw it, and I did. Margot Robbie, I think was her name, won an Academy Award for her. And I was asked my reaction. I said, well, knowing the principal, I felt it was overly sympathetic to Tonya Harding. Yes, she had a terrible upbringing, but she was a she was a thug, really, and she hired thugs. Uh, she herself was not a thug. That's too strong a word, but her ex husband certainly was, and he's the guy that hired the three, including this clown named Shane Stant. Uh, and they expressed intent of the crowbar across the thigh was to break her leg.
Yeah.
And Tonya could skate. I mean, she was athletic. She wasn't very graceful, but she finished fourth behind Kerrigan in '92. Christy Yamaguchi won the gold. This little gal from Japan named Midori Ito was second, and Nancy Kerrigan was third. Tonya was fourth. So we knew she had the ability, and she thought she had to get Kerrigan out of the way, and so they attacked Kerrigan on the night of January 6th in Detroit. And then lawsuits ensued back and forth, and she was kicked off the team. She filed. She won her case. She was put back on the team. And this buildup, they were on the cover, I don't know, 20 magazines, including all the biggies at the time. And when we finally got to Lillehammer, actually, it was in Hamar, Norway, about 30 miles south of Lillehammer. It was just this incredible scene.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and I can vividly remember that Scott and Tracy Wilson, as opposed to Wolfson. Wilson was our third member of our commentary team. She was a wonderful person, a lady from Canada, and had won a bronze medal in her discipline, ice dance. The three of us were sitting in our little broadcast perch when the two women took the ice in the main Northern Lights Hall for the first time. And there were at least 400 accredited writers who could get in, but CBS had exclusive North American rights or United States rights. And so we were the only broadcasters who were involved in the arena. And so help me God, Andrew, at one point, we left almost tell you the names of the 6 different CBS news crews that were scattered around the ring. Martha Teichner, John Blackstone, Susan Spencer, Mark Phillips, I'm forgetting one, and then right below us was Connie Chung, who was co-anchoring the evening news with Dan Rather back in New York. And Scott was livid. And he said, somebody has lost sight of the fact that these young men and women have earned the right to compete for a medal. And they're almost sideshows compared to the main event. And he was just beside himself with anger. And then, the Wednesday night event came, and Tonya finished about where Scott thought he would. Kerrigan was leading. Oksana Bayul, this little sprite from Ukraine, was in second, and Tonya was eighth. And then our boss, Neil Pilson, saw us at practice the next morning. He said, "Did you hear about the overnights?" No, we hadn't. What? He said, "Well, the initial rating was 48.5 rating, which means 48.5% of every television set in the United States was tuned to the event. And the estimated audience was 126 million people."
Mm.
So hype works. And the numbers were down for Friday night, but that's when Tonya Scott said off camera she's hijacked the Olympics. That's when her bootlace broke.